All right, let's talk K3. For any level 6 project controls apprentice, this one can feel like a huge mountain to climb, right? But honestly, it all boils down to one core idea: making sure your project information is so solid everyone can trust it, no questions asked. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how you can master K3, from getting the theory down to absolutely acing your professional discussion. So, to make this real, we're going to follow the journey of Jody, who's an apprentice just like you, as she gets to grips with all this. We'll start with the why it matters, then we'll hear the what it is from her mentor, Adam. After that, we'll dive into the how you do it, figure out how to prove it all for your APITM portfolio with her coach, Olivia, and finally, get you prepped for that big EPA discussion. Let's get into it. So first up, let's meet our hero. This is Jody. She's a level 6 apprentice over at a company called Ibis Stores, and her mission, just like yours, is to get a complete handle on K3. She knows it's a huge part of her apprenticeship, but she really wants to understand how it actually makes a difference in the real world. And this is where the rubber meets the road. Her line manager, Rita Hall, just lays it out perfectly. K3 isn't some academic thing you do just to tick a box. No way. It is the absolute foundation of how companies like IB Stores deliver their projects on time and on budget. It's all about building confidence in the data. If you can get this right, you become absolutely invaluable. Okay, so to really get to the heart of K3, Jody goes to find her mentor, Adam. This is where we unpack the what. What exactly are all these procedures and systems we're talking about? Let's listen in on their chat. So this is the official definition, but let's break it down. It's not just about blindly following rules, it's about having a real professional understanding. And look at those keywords there: accurate, consistent, auditable, and fit for decision-making. Basically, K3 is the entire framework that makes sure your project information is actual intelligence that leaders can use to make smart calls, not just a bunch of random noise. So how does this actually work day to day? Well, Adam breaks it down for Jody into 4 really logical steps. First, you check your data to make sure it's right. That's your quality control. Next, you have a formal process for managing any changes to your project plan. That's configuration management. Then you make absolutely sure that everyone is working from the latest approved version of a document. That's document control. And finally, you wrap it all together by using your company's official systems to do it all. See how they all build on each other? It's a pretty neat system. And this is exactly why K3 is so not negotiable. When you have strong controls, you're protecting your data, you're ready for any audits, and you prevent total chaos when things change. But, look at that last one, building stakeholder confidence. If your stakeholders don't trust your numbers, that trust just evaporates and the project is pretty much doomed. It's really that simple. All right, so understanding what it is one thing, but Jody needs to know how to actually build these skills. So let's jump into the next part of their conversation, where Adam lays out a super clear development path for her. This is basically your roadmap to becoming a master. It all starts with really understanding your company's own systems. Then you move on to applying those control methods on live projects until it becomes second nature. The next level up is when you can spot the risks of not following the rules. And that final step where you really show your level 6 competence is developing judgment, knowing exactly how to apply these rules proportionately so they fit the size and complexity of your project. Now to get there, Adam gives her some really powerful learning activities. He says, don't just read the procedures, review them, challenge them. Don't just process a change request, evaluate the whole scenario. Try doing a mini audit on a project's document control. But the most important thing, reflect. Constantly think about how you've applied these controls and what the outcome was. That's where the real learning happens. So, Jody is now putting K3 into practice at Ibis Stores, but her job isn't over yet. Now she meets with her coach, Olivia, to tackle the next critical phase, proving her competence in her APTPA-M portfolio. This is where you show what you know. Olivia kicks off with a question that every single apprentice has to face. Look, you can be absolutely brilliant at your job, but if you can't show the evidence for it in a way that makes sense, it just doesn't count. So the big question is, how do you create evidence that really proves you're operating at that top level? Olivia shows Jody this table, and honestly, this is gold. Your evidence has to be something real, something tangible. A controlled document with version history that shows you get versioning, a change log that proves you're managing configuration, the report from a quality check that demonstrates your validation skills. But the glue that holds it all together is that reflective analysis. That's where you tell the story behind the evidence. And this right here is the secret sauce for a fantastic reflection. Olivia says for every single piece of evidence, you have to explain which procedures did you use, why were they so critical at that moment, what judgments did you have to make, and what was the ultimate impact on the project. If you can answer those 4 points, you turn a simple document into powerful, undeniable proof of your level 6 skills. Okay, with a strong portfolio coming together, there's just one final hurdle: the endpoint assessment, the EPA. So Olivia switches into coaching mode, getting Jody ready for the professional discussion where her K3 knowledge is going to be tested under pressure. Olivia fires off some typical questions Jody might get. Now, take a good look at these. They're not just asking for definitions, are they? They're asking you to apply and connect ideas. They want to know how you link your company's systems to project control, how control connects to governance, and how you turn risk into action. Think about it for a second. How would you answer these right now? So what does a truly top-tier answer actually sound like? Check out this example. This isn't just a good answer. This is a distinction-level answer. Notice the specific words. It shows judgment, talking about tailoring procedures proportionately, but it also shows responsibility by maintaining governance and audit confidence. It's confident, it's precise, and it links theory directly to what you do every day. This is absolutely the level you should be aiming for. So through this whole journey with her manager, her mentor, and her coach, Jody has gone from feeling a bit unsure to being completely confident. She gets the why, the what, and the how. She knows how to prove her skills and how to talk about them under pressure. She's ready. So the only question left is, are you?